Big Craig, man. Just doing this little video, man, that I just wanted to put on YouTube because I wanted to, and because I can. It's about being local. Local until I go global. You know what I'm saying? Big Craig Productions, West Juno CB on Facebook, Big Craig _HP on Twitter. Yeah, man. I'm local till I go global. Yeah, Milwaukee. Milltown representing. Yeah, people always act like being a local artist is a bad thing. But there's really only 3 things that can make you local. There's one when it pertains to the place that you are in your own mind. How strong your mind is or how weak your mind is. That makes you local. Another one pertains to when someone has the power to restrict you to a certain place or a certain place is because of their power and you suffer. And number 3, it pertains to just being in the city or being in a small town or a small district, and rather than being all over the state or all over the country. See, when you're local in your own mind, you're not believing in what you're doing. You think that you need someone in your area or someone in your neighborhood or someone who's just more popular than you to validate what you're doing, because you haven't tried to be as confident or try to do this on your own. So you need that validation from someone who you feel who is respected, and you need to get their seal of approval, which is untrue. You got to believe in yourself. You got to believe that your talent is blessed by God, who is worldwide, who knows all and sees all. And you got to believe in your talent. You got to believe that your talent is official and it's not in vain. You can't think that because, these guys are on the radio that you need their validation, or you can't believe that because this guy is the most popular DJ in the club that you need his validation and his stamp of approval. And you can't even believe that because a certain group of dudes might be the most popular dudes in the neighborhood, and you need their validation, or you don't really need to align yourself with them in order to get the exposure that you want for your talent. Another definition of local pertains to when you are being restricted to a particular place or particular places. Now, my understanding of that is like, when some people in power are trying to restrict you, like maybe a club DJ who ain't trying to work with you, or a promoter who ain't trying to work with you, or a CEO who don't want to sign you, or a producer or a rapper. There's many things, many people who can try to keep you restricted to a local state, which seems to be the most common thing as far as us artists go. But what I learned was, from a networking standpoint and a business standpoint, a local artist is a really big risk factor to a CEO or to a DJ or to a big time promoter or to a big crew. It's a big risk factor because beyond the contract, after you do whatever kind of deal you do with a CEO or the industry, there's a lot of unwritten compliances that most local artists like myself or someone may not want to follow or don't want to go along and play that type of game with them. So way beyond the contract, there's more things that you got to comply to as a man that just probably ain't in our best interest or in their best interest to invest in once they see that, you might be a little smarter than they thought, or you might be a little more, on the business end, be a little more savvy than you need to be. The advantages of being local. You can do whatever you want to do, whenever you want to do it, however you want to do it, with whoever you want to do it with, for how much you want to pay to do it for, because you operate within your own restrictions and not the restrictions that a CEO or some big time person who trying to get in your business and get you to benefit them. You're not doing it on their time. That's the advantage. And I noticed that most local artists got all of the talent and all of the creativity in the world. In the industry, they want to get some of that. They want to align themselves and sign someone who's this untapped talent that can bring more money into their company or to their corporation. Or, a DJ, he want to play your music as long as it's going to benefit him, and you kind of start to fall under his umbrella of things. Or, they want that streamline with local talent. But at what cost? See, I'm a businessman, and business has a lot to do with psychology. So if I'm a businessman and I'm looking at artists, a local artist, and that artist perceives local, meaning he's stuck in a certain place or a small place, and this artist is looking at me as a person that can get him out of that place, and he don't associate being famous with being local no more, even though it's a mental thing, it's a mind game. Keep that in mind. Now, if I can get that artist to buy into my system of what's local and what's not local, and I sign a contract with this person, now that person is, first of all, I'm going to make sure that that contract benefits me more, and I'm going to make sure that that person understands that now what I say you got to comply to. That's what it comes down to. You know, you now I get to talk to you like you ain't shit. Now I get to treat you like you under me, like you somebody that's not important. So all the power that you thought you had when you was local to do what you wanted to do, when you wanted to do it, with who you wanted, and all of that goes out the window, because now you operating under my restrictions. So now you local to me because, you know, I get to treat you worse than you felt when you was local and doing your own thing. So there's a lot of risk and a lot of things to lose on both sides, and a lot of things to gain on both sides. It's all in the eye of the beholder. But to me, I would rather remain local so I can do stuff like this that nobody can come and say, well, oh, why you do that? I ain't tell you can do that, nigga. Or, nigga, go to this place and you better be there. Or, you better show up and do this and do that. And you gotta operate under the restrictions of your CEO or your boss, because you ain't no boss no more. You lose all that when you sign a deal with somebody and they're getting chewed out by little skinny little dudes who they could probably beat their ass if it was in the streets. So, you know, that's my view on local and not local things. Get with me, Big C, Big Craig, man.